Snap is burning billions of dollars on a futuristic augmented reality gamble, while Wall Street activists scream for them to stop. But if these new glasses actually beat Meta and Apple to the punch, it might just be the greatest and highest stakes tech turnaround of the decade. We are watching a company that is essentially a high-tech paradox wrapped in a social media app. On one hand, you have nearly a billion people using Snapchat every month, sending 63,000 photos every single second. Yet the stock price has recently collapsed as if the building were on fire. Imagine owning a store where the lines are out the door and around the block, but every time you look at the cash register, you realize you are actually losing money because you're spending the profits on building a teleporter in the back room. That is the fundamental tension inside Snap Inc. right now. It started as a way for college students to send disappearing photos, but today, CEO Evan Spiegel insists they are actually a camera company. And he is betting the entire farm on the idea that the next great computing platform isn't the phone in your pocket, but the glasses on your face. This isn't just a minor pivot. It is a multi-billion-dollar moonshot in augmented reality hardware that is being funded by an advertising business that is currently being squeezed by giants like Meta and TikTok. The sheer scale of this gamble is hard to wrap your head around until you look at the numbers. Snap has poured an estimated $3 billion into their spectacles hardware venture with virtually zero commercial return to show for it yet. It's like watching a champion sprinter decide to stop mid-race to try and build a jetpack. If it works, they change the world, but if it doesn't, they just lose the race. The markets are currently pricing Snap as if that jetpack is never going to fly. The stock has surrendered nearly half of its value over the last year, trading perilously close to its all-time lows. When you see a once-beloved tech darling trading at less than $5 a share, you have to ask if the market has spotted a terminal illness, or if this is the ultimate fire sale for a company that still owns the attention of Generation Z. To find the answer, we have to look at the civil war currently brewing in their boardroom. Two activist investment firms, Ireta Capital and Randian Capital, have launched what can only be described as a corporate siege. They've sent open letters demanding that Snap immediately spin off the hardware division and stop the bleeding. They look at the $1.6 billion spent annually on research and development and see a governance vacuum. But here is the twist that makes this situation so unique. The public shareholders have almost zero power to change anything. Because of a unique dual-class share structure, the co-founders, Evan Spiegel and Bobby Murphy, control over 95% of the voting rights. They could decide to spend every last cent in the treasury on AR research, and there is legally nothing an activist or a retail investor can do to stop them. It is the ultimate test of founder-led vision versus Wall Street pragmatism. Now, if you only looked at the stock price, you'd think the business was failing. But the actual data tells a much more complicated story. In the final quarter of 2025, Snap actually reported a positive net income of $45 million. They grew their revenue to over $1.7 billion for the quarter and saw their premium subscription service, Snapchat Plus, surge by 62%. This is the green shoot that the bulls are clinging to. The core business is generating real cash. In fact, they produced over $400 million in free cash flow last year. So the company isn't broke, it's just conflicted. They are making money from ads and subscriptions just to funnel it into a hardware project that feels like a science fiction movie. And that hardware project just got a massive shot of adrenaline. In April 2006, Snap announced a massive partnership with Qualcomm to put advanced Snapdragon chips into the next generation of spectacles. This is a big deal because it suggests that Snap isn't just playing around with toys anymore. They are building a legitimate spatial computing ecosystem. Independent reviews of their latest prototypes actually suggest their tech might be more advanced in some ways than what Meta or Apple are showing. Their new Snap OS and hand-tracking interfaces are being praised by developers as the gold standard. So you have this incredible contrast, a product that might be the future of human communication, being built by a company whose stock is currently being treated like a distressed media asset. However, we have to talk about the red flags, and there are some very bright ones. While the company is trying to convince us that the future is bright, the people on the inside are acting very differently. Over the last 6 months, there has been a complete and total absence of insider buying. Instead, we've seen massive, systematic selling. In early April 2026, the CEO himself sold 1 million shares at just over $5. When the captain of the ship starts offloading cargo while the ship is at its lowest valuation in years, it sends a chilling signal to the rest of the market. It's like a chef refusing to eat the meal he just cooked. If the executives believed the stock was a massive bargain at these prices, they would traditionally be buying, not dumping. On top of that, the company is facing a wave of state-level lawsuits in Texas and Utah over child safety and addictive design features. These aren't just legal headaches, they are threats to the very algorithms that keep users engaged. If a court forces Snap to change how its app works, the daily active user growth could stall even further. And remember, Snap is already losing the battle for attention to TikTok, which currently commands 95 minutes of usage per day compared to Snapchat's model of quick, frequent opens. It's a battle between a marathon and a series of sprints, and right now, the advertisers are starting to prefer the marathon. This brings us to a mathematical trap that a lot of retail investors are falling into. People see 100 million shares sold short and think a massive short squeeze is coming. But when you look closer, the cost to borrow those shares is almost zero. There is an absolute abundance of shares available for short sellers, and the daily volume is so high that they could all exit their positions in just 48 hours without breaking a sweat. There is no mechanical pressure forcing a squeeze. Instead, what we see is a phenomenon called options pinning. Whenever the stock tries to break above $5, algorithmic selling pressure kicks in to keep the price range-bound. The market makers have a vested interest in keeping the stock exactly where it is, so that the speculative call options bought by retail traders expire worthless. It is a highly engineered environment where machine logic is currently defeating human optimism. So, where does that leave us? We are standing at a crossroads that will be decided on April 28th when the company reports its next set of earnings. This isn't just about revenue beats or misses. The market is waiting to see if Evan Spiegel will finally bow to the activists and rein in the spending, or if he will double down on his vision. If he announces a strategic review of the hardware division, the stock could experience a violent relief rally because the underlying social media business is actually quite healthy and undervalued relative to its sales. But if he uses his total voting control to ignore the critics and keep burning cash, we could see another round of capitulation. It is a classic David versus Goliath story, except in this version, David is trying to build a high-tech sling while Goliath is already standing over him. The technology is undeniable, the user base is massive, but the capital allocation and the governance structure are creating a ceiling that the stock just can't seem to break through. You're essentially betting on whether a visionary founder can successfully transition from being a software disruptor to a hardware titan before the market loses its patience entirely. It's a high-stakes game of poker, where Snap is going all in on a hand that hasn't been fully dealt yet, and the rest of the table is starting to get up and walk away. Whether you see this as a tragic collapse or a generational buying opportunity depends entirely on whether you believe the world will be wearing Snap's glasses in 3 years, because the current financials suggest they don't have a plan B. This is a story of a company that refused to just be an app and decided it wanted to be the future, and we are about to find out if the future is actually for sale at $4.82. It's a fascinating, messy, and deeply polarized situation that proves even 1 billion users can't save you if the market stops believing in your roadmap. As we wait for the next earnings call, the only thing that is certain is that the tension in Santa Monica has reached a breaking point, and the resolution will likely redefine what it means to be a founder-led tech company in an age of activist accountability. And hey, I hope this video helps you on your quest for profits. Catch you on the next one.